This is B3 Conversations, and today we're going to be talking about World of Warcraft Classic Warlock and our certain builds for them and how we plan to play them.
I can't believe somebody else spoke first. I did wait a second though.
So who plans on doing what?
So my build is 30, 21, 0, 30 in Affliction, 21 in Demonology, 0 in Destruction. And the whole, I was planning on doing a really weird thing with not having any demons out at all, because like the ability in Demonology, Demonic Sacrifice, you kill off your demon to gain a really powerful buff, whether it's more shadow damage or fire damage or healing or mana per second. It's awesome. It seems like it should be great. And hopefully the two damage ones, whether you're Destruction or Affliction, make up for the not having a demon, or the heal or the mana regen helps you either survive or sustain better. And to get down to there, I have Demonic Embrace. Increases your total stamina by 15%, but reduces your total spirit by 5%. So
That's kind of an important thing, because in classic vanilla WoW, if you had never played or you don't realize, or you didn't know, spirit actually affected your mana regeneration as well as your health regeneration, and some things like that. So it being suppressed should actually have an effect in game, and then your play. But I think the health is worth it.
The health is totally worth it.
Because I took that as well.
I think the more stamina is absolutely worth the little bit of less spirit. I have Demonic Embrace, and then Fell Intellect. Which Fell Intellect and Fell Stamina, I only have mostly to get down to Demonic Sacrifice. You're gonna have a demon out sometimes. You can't really avoid it. The blueberry is a lifesaver if you're out questing. So him having...
That's a Void Walker if you didn't realize.
Yeah, he's the Void Walker.
It's the second demon you get. The first one is
An imp.
Yeah.
Then it's your Void Walker.
Then your Succubus.
Then the Succubus. Then the Fell Hunter.
And then your Mount. And then your Mount.
Yeah, and then there's a couple of mounts. The
and,
40 mount and the level 60 mounts.
Yeah.
The Infernal.
Yeah, but those aren't really the same. And
those are
complicated.
was it just the Infernal, or could you get a Doomguard too?
You might have been able to get a Doomguard too. I don't know. But they were both difficult to manage, because you had to summon them in with like 5 other people.
Yeah, they were a pain.
And then you had to enslave them really quick, or they would kill everyone. And enslave only lasts like 5 minutes, so you got to manage your enslavements. And you can only enslave a demon like twice before it resists outright.
Yeah.
And then it kills you.
Yeah. People used to summon them in Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
And Stormwind.
I don't know about Stormwind. I remember seeing it in Orgrimmar.
Yeah.
And it was a shit show.
It was always
Because they were elite.
Obviously. There, take that, Taliesin.
Oh no. So the Fell Intellect and the Fell Stamina are good because it increases one increases the intellect and the other increases the stamina of all of your demons by...
No. The one increases the health and one increases the mana. It doesn't say anything about stamina or intellect.
Mana and health. Okay. One increases the mana, one increases the health of all your demons.
I got those two.
By 15%. While you have a demon out, while I have a demon out, it's going to be helpful. I also took Fell Domination. On activation, your next Imp, Voidwalker, Succubus, or Fell Hunter's summoned spell has its cast time reduced by 5.5 seconds and its cost by 50%. The cast time on them were like 10 seconds long, so it's an oh shit, I need my demon now. And then I went down from that to Master Summoner, which reduces the cast time on your Imp, Voidwalker, Succubus, and Fell Hunter by 4 seconds, and the mana by 40%. And I'm pretty sure
if you had all of that,
that is just, the second part is just a passive that's just applied. So with Fell Domination, the cast time is just a second.
it's super fast. It's basically if you're someplace, whether it be out questing in a dungeon, whatever it may be, and you either need a demon to renew your buff, or your demon got killed, right? Mm-hmm. If you have this, instead of the really long summoning where you stand there and the pretty purple lights flow around your body on the ground making a crazy sigil, you just hit this and it's bang, done. It's super fast. So it's basically an emergency cast. At least that's the way I used to use it.
Yeah, it's a I need a demon now type thing.
Right. Or perhaps in Jonah's case, if he were in a situation or his situation changed and now he needed a different buff off of a different demon, he could cast the the Fell Dominion or Domination, Fell Domination, and then cast summon the new one, sacrifice it, and then have the new buff.
Yeah.
You know, if the situation changed, you know, maybe his mana is just not working good enough, and he needs to get mana instead of having more damage, shadow damage. Say, kind of deal.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, it's that'll be fun, I think.
I have all that too, but I took those for those moments where you're like, ah! Your guy died and you're trying not to get dead because, like it or not, cloth isn't very mitigating on the damage. Now, that being said, there was demon armor as a spell, as well as demon skin, and there may have been something else, but I think it was just
those two.
Oh, it was Fell
armor.
But we're gonna look into it. We'll have all the right information from what's happening in vanilla, because one of those may have been a
Burning
BC.
Fell armor was
add-on.
Burning Crusade. It was just demon armor.
Now you know.
Okay, now you know. I'm not gonna play Warlocks knows everything about them.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Poser.
Okay, carry on.
I also took Improved Health Stone, which is a thing.
First tier?
Yeah, on the first tier, which is a little rock you summon that you can use, which heals you for a buttload. The talent just increases the amount that it heals by 20%.
Now, can you have more than one health stone at any given time, or is it because it's a conjured item, you can only have one in your bag at a time? That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Now, does that stack with something like the spell stones?
Each one counts as their own unique item.
But so you can have both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if you wanted a health stone and a soul stone.
Spell stone.
Spell stone.
Soul stone is something you get when you suck the soul out of things and they die. And then it goes.
Soul shard. The soul stone is the battle res the revive thing.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
So if you wanted both of those in your bag, you could.
On the film, there would have just a big wrong would have gone away just now. Wrong. Anyway. I did not get that. So far, everything he's talked about, I've gotten. I've gotten all those same abilities. Demonic Embrace, Fell Intellect, Fell Stamina. I got Unholy Power because I'm actually intending to keep
your demon out.
I'm more than likely going to have the Voidwalker out most of the time.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably gonna try to do a lot of dungeoning and stuff like that, but that won't matter because you can't have a Fell Hunter, or not your Fell Hunter, but your Voidwalker in the dungeon because the tank freaks out because it constantly taunts the bosses and the mobs, and then they yell at you. Okay, carry on.
So that's everything I have in Demonology. Moving over to Affliction, what I have is both of the top tier.
Bottom tier?
No. Both of the very first talents you unlock, Improved Corruption and Suppression, which suppression reduces the chance enemies will resist all of your affliction spells by 10%.
That's a good one. I didn't take that, but I did take improved corruption.
Yeah, which reduces the cast time of corruption by 2 seconds, making it an instant cast ability.
Okay.
And then I went down and I took improved life tap for whenever you're low on mana, you use life tap, it takes some health and restores a buttload of mana.
As I recall, it took a lot of health.
It took a lot of health, yeah.
If you popped it more than 3 times, your health was all but gone.
Yeah.
If I recall correctly. But that's where you have drain life, because because drain life will return health to you. So I didn't take in affliction. Okay, my talent build is 20 affliction, 31 demonology, and nothing in destruction. I have nothing against destruction. As I recall, destruction warlocks were decent. They had 2 or 3 really amazing abilities, and they could, they were good at laying out damage.
Yeah.
But for my play style, I typically like playing. I like the fantasy behind the demonology.
Master
Yeah,
Summon.
the crazy.
You know what I mean? So I went heavily into demonology. In reality, affliction's probably way better. In reality, affliction, back in the day, it used to be affliction warlocks were really good at PvP because they would do what? Fear, ... Fear, and then watch dudes die. I mean, it's not 100% that way, but that was
a lot of the times.
But played correctly, an affliction warlock could basically do that to a lot of different types of other classes.
Yeah. And if you didn't have the right resistances.
Back to affliction, Jonah.
Yes. So improved life tap, and I also have improved drained soul, which gives your drained soul a 100% chance to gain 100% increased mana regen for 10 seconds if the target is killed while you are draining its soul. In addition,
I took that one.
Your mana may continue to regenerate while casting at 50% of the normal rate.
I took that one as well.
So another sustain talent that I took.
So on that second tier, I took that, and I took put 3 points into drain life, improved drain life.
I did not. I thought about it.
To get some of the talents that I wanted in both of the trees.
Yeah.
My first build I had all 5 in improved drain life.
Yeah,
and I only had 1 point in fill concentration. And then I looked at that and thought, that's stupid. I should split that because I'm going to gain way more out of the interrupt reduction, or the chance to reduce the number of times or how often I'll get interrupted while channeling drain life than I will out of just draining more life.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, carry on.
Instead of having to cast more often, you're reducing the chance of it getting knocked back and missing a heal anyway.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't take any in improved drain life, but I do have a talent further down called Siphon Life, which transfers 15 health from the target to the caster every 3 seconds, lasts 30 seconds.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And did you get Shadow Mastery, the one that ties into that? You almost have to.
Yeah. You're foolish not to if you're already that far down, which that increases the damage dealt or life drained by your shadow spells by 10%. So
that's a lot.
That's a lot, given all of your shadow stuff is already crazy damage.
Yeah. And I also got I took Grim Reach.
Yeah.
And Nightfall. Grim Reach increases the range of your affliction spells, and Nightfall gives you a chance. Gives your corruption and drain life spells a chance to enter a casting state where I think it's
Shadow Bolt becomes instant cast.
Yeah. Which is sweet.
That's super awesome.
Because anytime you can get one of your
Shadow Bolts off.
Well, I was just thinking anytime you can get any spell or any ability that has a cast time, instant cast at any time is almost always worth it. I can't think of a time where it wouldn't be.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, Kara. And then did you take improved Curse of Agony?
No, I didn't. I didn't take either of the improved curses.
I took improved Curse of Agony because, as I recall, that was one of my main that I've dropped on everything and everybody, everywhere, every time.
Because it reduces their armor or something, right?
Curse of Weakness reduces
damage.
Curse of Weakness reduces the physical damage somebody deals. Curse of Agony just does damage.
I thought it was just that was just a damage spell, and that's why I took it.
Yeah, Curse of
to increase the
Agony
amount of damage
just
that I put out.
Warlocks might have one that reduces.
Probably
defense.
should have taken suppression in light of that took things that would increase the damage affliction.
Yeah, I didn't take improved Curse of Agony because I did take Amplify Curse, which when you use it, it increases the effect of your next Curse of Weakness or Curse of Agony by 50%. So occasionally one of my curses is going to be way stronger versus all the time them being a little stronger.
Did you get the Curse of Exhaustion, John?
No, I don't really care for that ability. All that does is reduces the target's movement speed by 10%, and then another 20% if you get the little tie-on talent.
Yeah, the improved Curse of Exhaustion. That would be good if you were going to spend any amount of time doing crowd control.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
or if somebody's running away and you don't want them to, that'd be good. If a warrior's charge is on cooldown and you know it's on cooldown and they're trying to get to you, that would be worth it.
Yeah.
But I would just fear people.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you took Fell Concentration?
Yeah, I got all 5 in that.
That's smart.
The 70% chance to avoid interruption. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you got the top tier, Dark Pact?
I did not.
No.
Nope.
What does it do?
It drains 150 of your mana's pet, returning 100% to you, which I'm not going to have a pet out a long time anyway.
Because of when
and if my mana's ever hurting despite life tap and the improved drain soul effect, I can always just switch out to a fell hunter and then immediately sacrifice it to gain 2% total mana every 4 seconds.
Yeah, that's smart.
On top of your drain soul.
On top of all the other stuff I had, yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Affliction, I went improved Corruption, improved Drain Soul. I put only 3 points in improved Drain Life because, as I was saying, I wanted more points in Fell Concentration to avoid interrupt or to knock back on your spells. And I did improved Curse of Agony as well as Grim Reach and Nightfall. We talked about all that.
Yeah.
In Demonology, again, we talked about, I put a bunch of points in Demonic Embrace, Fell Intellect, Fell Stamina, all of that. The same Fell Domination and Master Summoner and all that. And then I did take Demonic Sacrifice, but I didn't take it as something that I plan to use regularly. It's going to be more of an emergency thing for me.
Heal.
You know what I mean? Yeah, so things are going bad. Get rid of the Void Walker and take plus 3% health. If you're in a dungeon, maybe you've got the Succubus or the Fell Hunter out. Well, the Succubus is actually better for PvP because it would make the other people dumb for a minute.
The Fell Hunter was pretty good too against casters though.
The difference is that the Succubus would actually
Lock down.
sort of stun lock, could almost stun lock people.
Yeah.
She had an ability called Seduction, and it lasted 30 seconds.
It lasted a long time.
Long time, yeah.
Anyway, so it's more of an emergency thing that I'm doing. Plus, I needed that to get the top tier of Soul Link, which when active, 30% of damage that I take is transferred to my demon. And like I said, out in the world, it's going to be the Void Walker more often than not.
And that ability also increases the damage you and whatever demon you have out by 3%.
Which is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but it's
3% for you and your demon. That definitely doesn't hurt.
Yeah.
So the other stuff I took in Demonology was I got Unholy Power. Probably mentioned that, which increases the damage done by your demons, your pets. And then I took Master Demonologist. So grants both Warlock and the Summon Demon an effect as long as that demon is active. Imp reduces threat caused by 20%, which there are times that's what you want. There are going to be times when you're in bad dungeons. And maybe you would like to have the Fell Hunter out or something else, but you're between your dots and other stuff, you're doing so much damage. If you don't have that threat reduction, you're going to be pulling threat off the tank. And it happened.
Yeah.
Now again, I think players are going to be better today than they were back in the day.
Yeah.
They're going to understand the mechanics better.
Yeah.
And they're going to understand how all the numbers and the percentages work better. So maybe it won't be as much of an issue, but
it could still
be an issue. And the Imp used to be pretty good.
Yeah, the Imp gave Blood Pact, which increased your maximum health of you and everybody in the party, by 10%. It's always good.
It's always good to have more
On
health.
top of the threat reduction, that's a no-brainer.
The Void Walker reduces physical damage taken by both by 10%. Succubus increases all damage caused by 10%. And then the Fell Hunter increases all resistances by 1 per level. So at level 60, that's 60 for all resistances. And if you don't know, on your character sheet, right next to your picture of your character, will be 4 or 5 or 6 squares.
Frost, water.
And those are all the elemental things. So nature damage, frost damage, fire damage, shadow damage.
Holy.
Was holy in there too?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because paladins can do holy damage and priests.
Okay, anyway, so those 5 would be in there. And the higher the number is, the less, I don't know if it mitigates damage or it mitigates the effectiveness on you, or if it mitigates, you even getting hit by it. I don't know. Again, that was one of the things that I didn't know back in the day. I'll probably try to figure it out better this time. So that left me with 1 point, but I had to put it someplace down below in order to get Soul Link, and I threw 1 point out of 3 into Void Walker. Just increases the effectiveness by 10% of his Torment, Consume Shadow, and Sacrifice and Suffering spells. So, and his Sacrifice is kind of important because that was a spell that was on his bar.
Yeah.
That if you popped it, gave you the Warlock a bubble.
100% of either your health or the Void Walker's health as a bubble, and it killed the Void Walker.
Yeah, the Void Walker was gone, but you had a bubble, and there were times when you needed that bubble.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's talk about Soul Shards real quick.
Soul Shards, yes.
Most of your demons, except for the Imp, cannot be summoned without a Soul Shard.
Yes.
Having Soul Shards is going to be really, really important.
Super important.
Soul Shards are required to cast Health Stones,
Soul Stones, the Fire Stone, and the Spell Stone.
Yeah.
As well as the Summoning Closet.
I don't think that was a thing in
No, yeah.
vanilla.
Maybe it wasn't.
I don't think it was. I think that came on later. You could.
I don't know.
I thought it was in the 30s.
No, there's a summoning spell you can have, but it's not that one. Right? It's the old school summoning spell. And it requires
Is that the one where you create the portal and someone else has to click on it too?
2 other people have to click on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it brings up the door.
Well, I don't think so. Not in vanilla. You can double check and see, but I think that was something that came up probably, I'm going to say maybe Burning Crusade, but probably Wrath. Maybe. It was later on.
Yeah.
I don't think that was, because I remember the first time I saw it was after one of the other expansions came out. I'd never seen it before, and I wasn't sure what it was. Okay. Yeah, there's some good ones over in there.
Soul Stones.
The Soul Stones are something that you can create, and then you place it on yourself, if you're out in the world, or someone else. And it's either a 15-minute, I think it might be only a 15-minute, but it could be a 30-minute. What?
It's always been 15. It's just you only get one and you have to use.
No, it was 10 for a long time.
Was it 10?
It was short.
Yeah, it was a 10-minute duration.
I remember you
basically
cooldown.
Basically, it's just like the shaman's resurrection. Whoever has that
Incarnation.
soul stone on them, if they die while that's on them, they can either release and go to the spirit healer, or they can use the soul stone and come back to life right then and there.
With a certain amount of health and mana.
It wasn't very much.
It was
So
like 20%.
if it was ugly, it was better to go to the spirit healer.
Sometimes, yeah.
If things were ugly,
Yeah.
so
If it were in the middle of a fight, like if the healer was the first one dead and you had it on the healer should revive immediately.
or not necessarily. It depends on how things are going. Sometimes it's better for the healer to wait for everyone to wipe
Sometimes,
and the
yeah.
mobs to go back away. Because like if you picked up a couple of patrols
Yeah.
and you wipe, wait, the healer, whoever can res,
Yeah.
should be the one with the soul stone, because they come back and they res everybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, they come back and they gotta sit down and drink and eat and get their mana built back
Yeah.
up, and then they cast all their spells on themselves, and then they drink again, and then they res one, maybe two people, and then they drink again. It sounds bad, but it was water, or milk,
Yeah.
or juice.
Yeah.
Like hunters, you needed a bag.
No,
No. Like some bike
didn't
hunters
need a bag.
could get a bag.
They had a bag. In fact, well, so as a warlock, you get a bag as part of your warlock quests as a nub.
Level 10.
And I don't remember what it was. It wasn't very well. It was way bigger than every other bag you had at that time.
It was like
I want to say it was like 12.
10 or 12.
I think it was like a 12 slot bag, which
Yeah.
doesn't seem like much, but 12 soul shards in your bags when you've only got like 3 6-slot bags. It's kind of ugly.
Yeah. That's kind of a bummer.
You know, I know that your backpack had what, 16?
3x4.
Nope, 4x4.
No,
So it should be
4x4,
16.
yeah. 16.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially if you just had that and hadn't even found any other bags and couldn't afford to buy bags, weren't a tailor, couldn't make bags. What else? Races. Ooh, do we want to talk about races?
Might as
Yes.
On the Horde, it was
Undead and orc.
well.
Forsaken,
Forsaken
and the Orcs.
And the Orcs.
and on the Alliance, it was the dirty humans and the dirty
filthy
little
gnomes.
and the filthy little gnomes.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah. Just those 4 races.
Could be warlocks.
But only 2 of them are relevant.
Not everybody thinks that way.
Well, they're wrong.
Don't the Gnomies have a racial that would make them good?
Increases
They got
their intellect.
Intellect.
That's the one.
Expansive mind or some crazy thing. Yep.
So
Increases their maximum intellect by like 1 or 5%.
is there anything else we need to talk about?
Yeah, I think we need to talk about the undead warlock and their racial, because you're going
The improved shadow damage?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there was that.
They had shadow resistance.
I thought they had increased shadow damage by 1%.
No.
I don't think so. John would have looked at all that by now.
No.
Okay.
They had that after they got rid of resistances. Once resistances were gone, that racial became irrelevant, so they got a little bit of shadow damage. Same with the dwarves. Dwarves lost their frost resistance,
Yeah.
and they gained something. That might have been when they gained mace.
Oh, probably so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway. Okay, so I think we're pretty much wrapped up.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had someone after the Hunter video said that they were waiting for Priest. So
Yes,
we're gonna do
we
Priest.
did.
We're gonna do Priest next. If everything works out, today's Sunday. We're gonna try to film Priest on Wednesday or Thursday this week after I get off work. And see if we can't maybe get both of them up by next weekend. By the time you're hearing this, it'll already be out.
Or not. You'll know by now.
Their name was Mitko Genesti, and I hope I didn't brutalize that with the last name like Bango Chia. I get it. I appreciate your comment. Thank you. It was great and weird.
It was a request.
It was equal parts great and weird.
Yeah.
Just because I wasn't expecting anybody to give it to comment other than maybe like, yeah, that was cool, or God, you guys suck. Stop it.
Yeah.
That's where we're at. This is B3 Conversations. I'm Talon.
Elijah.
One at a time.
The Dopey Twins.
Go.
Elijah.
Jonah.
And we're out of here.
Thanks.
Have a good one.
Bye.